Good morning, good night, good afternoon. Welcome back to What's the Word. I'm so excited. Yay! I got about an hour before I have to pick up my brother for to drop him off to work. So I figured I'd just take a minute and sit down. Like I said, I want to be exclusively YouTube, I guess, is where we're at. So I can get through the Bible, we can get through spending time together. Um, I mentioned last time we spoke about Miss Britta being my co-host, but then we had our thing Saturday, and I want everybody, all this prayer ladies, even to add a prayer call. We have a prayer call, so anybody that wants to be part of, and 8 o'clock in the morning is my time. So what is it? Eastern, Eastern 8 o'clock time. In the morning, 8 to 9, just loving on each other and praying for each other. And prayer is the greatest thing that we can do for each other. So if you need prayers, let me know because I'm so excited. I love to pray. I love to spend time with God. I did see this video where the guy was like, I don't pray unless I'm on my knees, but I pray 24/7. I don't think I've actually, other than when I am literally down on the floor, I don't think I've prayed like on my knees other than when I was little too. Side of your bed and you sit and pray. Um, I think prayer should be at all times, just talk to God. Just like, for me, I would like my significant other whenever, I'd want to call him and like I said, this will be the most intimate relationship that you've ever had in your life. Is between you and God. And only way to do that is to beg and pray and spend time together. Just like, if you have children, then and if you don't have children, well, remember when you were a child. It's just like that, you want your parents, you want whatever. Like I said last time, it was a stuffy that my son was attached to. My daughter was attached to a binky, and it was just, whatever their security is. Just think of it like that. So we have chapter 40 is Joseph interprets two dreams. Sometimes later, oh, yes, right. Sometime later, Pharaoh's chief cupbearer and chief baker offended their royal master. Pharaoh became angry with the two officials and he put them in prison with Joseph, where Joseph was, in the palace of the captain of the guard. They remained in prison for quite some time, and the captain of the guard assigned them to Joseph, who looked after them. Mm. While they were in prison, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker each had a dream one night, and each dream had its own meaning. When Joseph saw them the next morning, he noticed that they both looked upset. Why do you look so worried today? He asked them. And they replied, We both had dreams last night, but no one can tell us what they mean. So we asked, so how many people do you think they were asking? What does this mean? What does this mean? How many times have you had a dream? Hasn't happened to me in a while, but you had a dream that you wake up and you want to tell somebody, right? And they're telling people and then asking them what it means. So the chief cupbearer told Joseph his dream first. In my dream, he said, I saw a grapevine in front of me. Well, it's always grapes, right? Grapevines, vines. I love vines. The vine had 3 branches that began to bud and blossom, and soon it produced clusters of ripe grapes. It was holding Pharaoh's wine cup in my hand, so I took a cluster of grapes and squeezed the juice into the cup. Then I placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. Just as easy as that. Squeeze grapes and voila, you got wine, right? This is what the dream means, Joseph said. The 3 branches represent 3 days. How does he know? I know that he said God speaks to him and only God can interpret the dreams. But how does he know that he's right? I don't know. Because sometimes when for me, I hear God and I listen and I question still because is it really God? And then it happens and then you know that it is God. But I mean, like, how does he know? The three branches represent 3 days. With 3 days, pharaohs will lift you up and restore you to your position as the chief cupbearer. And Joseph asks, please remember me and do me a favor when these things go well for you. Mention me to Pharaoh so he might let me out of this place. For I was kidnapped by my home. I was kidnapped from my homeland by his own brothers, right? He was kidnapped and sold into slavery. The land of Hebrews, and now I'm here in prison. But I did nothing to deserve it other than be his father's favorite. That's silly. When the chief bearer saw that Joseph had given the first dream such a positive interpretation, he said to Joseph, I had a dream too. In my dream, there was 3 baskets of white pastries stacked on my head. The top basket contained all kinds of pastries for the Pharaoh, but the birds came and ate them from the basket on my head. This is what the dream means. Joseph told them. What do you think this means? Ooh, right? Um, the 3 baskets also represent 3 days. So, again, 3 days for one to have good news and 3 days one to have bad news. When I talk, my ears like making some weird noise, so I'm just holding it. Um, but this is what the dream means. So 3 days, both of them, right? So 3 days, something good is going to happen. He's going to be restored back to the chief cupbearer. And then 3 days. And how did he know this? Like, ooh, 3 days from now, Pharaoh will lift you up and impale your body on a pole. Ugh. The birds will come and peck away at your flesh. Oh my God. Pharaoh's birthday came 3 days later, and he prepared a banquet for all his officials and staff, and he summoned Hebrew, who lifted up the head of his chief cupbearer and chief baker to join the officials. He then restored the chief cupbearer to his former position so he could again hand Pharaoh his cup. But Pharaoh impaled the chief cup baker, and why the so one to give him drink and one to give him food? But he kept the one to give him drink, and he impaled the chief baker, just as Joseph had predicted when he interpreted his dreams. Pharaoh's chief cupbearer, however, forgot all about Joseph and never gave him another thought. Broke his promise so many times, right? I don't know. I do my best not to do that, but when, a lot has been happening to me, people say things and then you don't really mean it. There's no follow through with it. Makes me sad. Yay, but we're through chapter 40. And then we have Pharaoh's dream. So that was the two um Pharaoh's helpers, the chief baker and the chief cupbearer. That's crazy, right? Oh my God. I want to know what he did so wrong. And why? Why the 3 days? Why on his birthday would he kill somebody? I wouldn't want to kill somebody on my birthday. Maybe that's part of the birthday plan. I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know. But see you back here soon. I'm gonna sweep and mop my floors now that I'm excited. Oh, was able to get through a chapter today. Look, isn't it so pretty? I made that. I love it. It's so pretty. All right, I love you guys, and God loves you. We'll see you back here soon. Thank you for spending time with me. Getting through the book. Getting through the book. I love you. See you soon.